Last week, the American Civil Liberties Union announced that it was suing a sheriff's office in Louisiana for holding a U.S. citizen in detention for 4 days. Police allegedly thought the man was in the country illegally, which he was not. He even had a passport to prove it. Backing up a bit, the story begins on August 31st, 2018, when police in Ascension Parish, Louisiana, arrested a man named Ramon Torres, who's originally from Honduras, on suspicions that he was driving under the influence. According to normal legal procedure in the county, Torres should have been released from jail the next morning, but he wasn't. According to ACLU filings, the sheriff's office refused to release him despite a court order. Torres says he asked why he was being held for so long and was told that all the Hispanic people in the jail were being held for immigration and customs enforcement, otherwise known as ICE. One of Torres's co-workers tried to sort out the confusion, so he emailed police copies of Torres's social security card, U.S. passport, and certificate of naturalization. Still, Torres was held until September 4th, when a friend arranged for a lawyer to go to court on his behalf. The ACLU says that Torres's detention is part of a broader practice of detaining Hispanic and Latinx people without proper cause. The legal filing, which I have here, says it pretty bluntly. It says Torres was detained in jail for more than 3 days simply because he has brown skin and a Latinx last name. For his part, Sheriff Bobby Weber, who's named as a defendant in the suit, told reporters that he disputes the claims and will fight them in court. I reached out to the sheriff's office, but I haven't heard back yet. We wanted to catch up with ACLU lawyers in Louisiana to see where this case fits in with the national story.
Hello.
Hi there, it's Katie from NBC.
Hey, Katie, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for finding time to speak with us. Do you have a sense of the scale of these, I guess, ICE or law enforcement errors across Louisiana?
You know, we don't yet have a sense of that. We're starting to see complaints coming in. But what I will tell you is that the Trump administration essentially has a mass deportation agenda. And that agenda is really being played out in Louisiana. There's one jurisdiction in Louisiana that has what's called a 287G agreement, which essentially is a partnership between ICE and a local sheriff's department, where all of the sheriff's deputies become deputized as ICE agents with the ability to perform the same responsibilities and duties that ICE does. While there's only one of those agreements in Louisiana, we believe that the other jurisdictions are taking their cues from this type of agreement and are essentially, even if they don't have one in place, are acting and doing the bidding of ICE.
Is it legal, these partnerships with local law enforcement?
I believe the actual agreement itself has legal authority, but what actually is really lacking in these agreements, as you can clearly see, is the appropriate training of officers. They're essentially just letting folks loose on our communities, which is, in the ACLU's opinion, absolutely illegal and unconstitutional.
The thing is, this is not an isolated incident. As of mid-August, ICE was detaining 55,220 people. But over the last few years, hundreds of American citizens have been mistakenly targeted by federal immigration authorities. Some have spent days or weeks or even years in jail, being accused of lying about their citizenship and threatened with deportation. I looked around for other similar cases, and I found them. In July, an 18-year-old American citizen was detained for over a month in Texas after being arrested on his way to a college soccer tryout. At the time of his arrest, Francisco Galicia was carrying a Texas birth certificate, a Texas ID, and a social security card, documents that U.S. authorities thought were fake. The scale of this is enormous. Between 2012 and 2018, ICE released 1,480 people after investigating their citizenship claims, according to a report from the Los Angeles Times. Analysis from the Cato Institute estimates that between 2006 and 2017, ICE wrongfully placed detainers on 3,500 citizens in Texas alone. Under the Trump administration, the Department of Homeland Security has redirected hundreds of millions of dollars to immigration enforcement, growing the size and scope of ICE. The government has pulled money that was supposed to be spent on the Coast Guard, on TSA aviation security, and on FEMA hurricane relief. It also announced in July that it would expand its ability to fast-track deportations, bypassing normal legal process. Homeland Security says the implementation of additional measures is a necessary response to the ongoing immigration crisis. The arrests of U.S. citizens make up just a small fraction of the 100,000 arrests that ICE agents make every year. But they raise questions about the collateral damage of our immigration policy and the way that people with brown and black skin tend to pay the price for ICE's errors.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.